The stock grind in War Thunder is perhaps one of the most heavily debated topics in the game. Should it be a thing? Is it too hard? Is it too easy? I'm not going to try and answer any of those questions in broad terms in this video. What I am going to do is show you that it doesn't always matter. So you're probably wondering, why are we sitting here in the hangar instead of going out into the battle and getting in with the video as we usually do? Well, I just wanted to show you this just as proof that this is a 100% stock aircraft. Ladies and gents, welcome to War Thunder, and today we are flying in the French Etendard. I don't know what it is. It's 9.0, it's French, and this is my third game in the aircraft. This is a 100% stock plane. I have no upgrades on this aircraft whatsoever. This is potential. I believe this is about my third match that I've ever actually played on it, but I could be wrong about that. This was one hell of a game. Right from the get-go, when I started playing this aircraft, I could really feel that there was something special about it, and I could feel instantly that I'm gonna like this plane. And that might say something about the aircraft, but similarly to how I felt with the J32, with the J32B, I just knew this was going to be good. This is going to be a capable aircraft, but whereas I don't really like the J32B all that much, I fell in love with this aircraft from the very moment I first took it off. And we're going to have a little talk about whether or not that, well, suggests that this plane is maybe a little bit overpowered at the end of the replay. But for now, we're going to enjoy. I don't actually know that much about the Etendard. It's obviously French Air Force. It's a carrier-based aircraft. This will actually take off from an aircraft carrier in War Thunder, which was kind of surprising for me. When I loaded into a match on Hokkaido and spawned me on an aircraft carrier, I was a bit like, "Ooh, yeah, I forgot this is a carrier-borne fighter." Armament-wise, once you got some upgrades, this aircraft carries a nice big variety of bombs and rockets, so it's very capable in ground forces, and it can also carry 2 AIM-9B Sidewinder missiles later on. Obviously, we have none of that now, as this is only my third match in the aircraft. I don't even have a crew qualification in this plane. The one thing I do have, which you guys won't really be able to see in this match, is I am running min fuel, which is about 12 minutes in this plane, and that is going to give me a little bit more of an edge. Of course, with the downside, which you're going to see become a real factor later on, that 12 minutes of fuel isn't very long, and you can probably tell by looking at the timer up on the top of the screen. Now, we're going to cut it a little bit close towards the end of this round, and it really could be the deciding factor into how this match goes. The Etendard comes equipped with 2 30mm Defa cannons. I have very, very limited use with the Defa cannons, but from my very limited use with them, I can safely say these are my favourite guns in the game. The Defas hit hard, they have a great muzzle velocity, and they always seem to go exactly where I'm aiming. It kind of feels like I'm running the F2 Sabres guns, except they are so much more punchy. If you get hit with Defas, you know about it. These guns don't really seem to spark so much, as they just kind of obliterate whatever they're hitting. And these are only default belts, so I'm quite excited to get my hands on some of the ground target and air target belts. We're going to kick things off with the first real mistake of this match, which is going straight in against this IL-28, and I simply tell. Fire a burst, clip his engine. Fire another burst, clip the engine, rake the fuselage, and somehow didn't get shot. We also narrowly avoid a head-on pass with the G91. So, pretty good way to start the round, especially in a stock aircraft, with kill number 1. And we're using the Etendard's speed. I'm just going to go and close that bloody window. There's always bloody neighbours. Right, sorry about that. We're using the Etendard's speed, as I'm trying to play this aircraft kind of like the Hawker Hunter. I know from experience against fighting these aircraft that they can be very, very fast in a straight line, though I did kind of underestimate exactly how fast this aircraft could actually go, as in a previous battle I almost outrun a Voltor in this aircraft, which again is stock. Going in now on this G91R4, getting nice and close, and it's a perfect execution. That's a textbook takedown, and definitely something to do in your stock aircraft is look for the guy who's making a mistake. Look for the guy who hasn't looked over his shoulder in a while. As people often ask me, you know, why I tend to look around with the camera so much, and like, why am I looking at my plane? I'm not looking at my plane. I'm looking around me all of the time. I very rarely am actually looking out the front of the aircraft unless I'm chasing something or in a position to shoot something. I'm also always trying to keep an eye on my mini-map just to make sure that there's nothing nearby that's going to give me a hard time. We managed to secure 2 kills, and this aircraft comes equipped with 240 rounds of cannon ammunition for the guns. Hostile Etendard there. Just manages to slip past the guns, but don't worry, we'll come back for him a little bit later. F-86 Sabre comes in to force the head-on. Don't force a head-on with a plane with cannon Sabre, and we put a nice big hit in, but he's going to keep flying for a minute. Try to get the shot on the MiG-15, but it just isn't going to happen. Here's another Etendard, who's chasing down our Voltor. And I'm thinking to myself for a minute, you know, can I really run this guy down? What's going on back behind me? I can see that the teams are actually pretty even at this stage. It looks like the game could still very easily go either way, and I've still got plenty of ammunition. These guns come with 240 rounds. That's 120 rounds per gun, which, with a little bit of trigger discipline, can actually go a long way. Anyway, we decide not to go after that particular Etendard, and we loop over to come back for the other Etendard, the G91, and I think there's some other planes down here in this little furball, but we'll get to them in a little bit. Got a Meteor still alive down there, who probably isn't going to last much longer. He's just completely outclassed by some of these aircraft. Hostile Etendard below me. Trying to loop in, trying to slot behind him. I'm aware that I don't have a crew qualification or a G-suit, so my plane could very easily black out. So I'm trying not to pull too hard of a turn unless I absolutely have to. We slot back on this Etendard, and I can see he's got bomb pilot. I see he's got some kind of pylons in, so I'm not entirely sure what kind of weapons this guy was carrying. But he's definitely been carrying something on external stores, so I know he's going to be slower than I am, and less maneuverable too. So we just take our time. We're trying to pull the gun sight out in front of him. I'm being aware as well that there's still a G91 in the air who could come in and try and ruin my day. I'm just waiting for the Etendard to make a mistake. Pull my guns on him, just managed to clip the engine, he's on fire. Jets don't recover from fires, especially jets that have only a single engine like the Etendard does, so even if he does recover from the fire, he's got no engine, he's going to crash. So I don't have to worry about him, and that's going to be kill number 3 when he eventually goes down. And there he goes. The MiG-15 over there I see is actually starting to run me down, and there also seems to be a bit of a skirmish happening over our airfield. We've got one of those G91s from earlier, as well as the other Etendard who was chasing the Voltor, who didn't manage to catch the Voltor, which I think he potentially could have done. But I'm guessing the Voltor hit the map border and came back. I never actually saw what happened, but it doesn't really matter. What we have right now is a MiG-17, who I believe is trying to land, and the Voltor engaging these 2 guys over the airfield. I've also got that MiG-15, who is still chasing me down during this time. I'm still travelling well, he's still a little tiny bit faster than me, but I know I've got plenty of time before he's going to manage to close the distance. So I'm going to have time to take a shot at one of these 2 guys. I initially wanted to go for the G91, because I think he's more dangerous, but then I see the Etendard is going to give me a shot. This is pure luck. Boom. Took his wing off, the other Etendard crashed for kills number 3 and 4 in a stock fighter. I think this is potentially one of the best games I've ever had in a stock aircraft. This is easily the best game I've had in the Etendard so far. But the game's still not over. We've got a MiG-15 and a G91 still alive. These matches, these moments right here are why I still play War Thunder. Because I adore these games. Not because I've got 4 kills, I couldn't care less about the kill count in this regard. What I mean is, there are 6 planes still, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planes, sorry, still alive right now. And it's tense. The game could so easily go either way. No one side has enough aircraft to really swarm the enemy. This match is going to be decided on skill and knowing your plane. So we hit the map border. And we've got to deal with this MiG-15. He's been chasing us down the entire time. Now, I know the MiG-15 quite well, as I did actually grind it out when I was going down the Russian aircraft line. I know it can be very manoeuvrable, but I know the guns are pretty horrible. I also know that at low speed, he's going to have the edge. However, I'm feeling pretty confident, and I know this guy was going quite fast, so I managed to turn his speed against him. I put him in front of my guns right where I want him, and that's how you get an ace. I don't actually know what the hell I actually did to him, but I know he J'd out almost instantly. We didn't kill him instantly. So it must have hit some of his control surfaces, or maybe he just decided that enough was enough. We now have 5 kills, but look at the timer. We are 9 minutes into this battle, meaning I've only got about 3 minutes of fuel. The G91 is still in the air. Take a shot at the Voltor, and right here is where I should have killed the G91, and I didn't. That mistake right there is easily the biggest mistake that I made in this battle. I should have just fired. I've still got about 80 shells left in the guns. Plenty of ammo to have a nice long spray. And that's what I should have done. I should have committed. I should have gone for the execute. But I didn't. Because now, I have to try and fight a G91 who's admittedly damaged, but he's very aware that I cannot, in a million years, keep turning with him. I have to use my energy. I have to boom and zoom this guy. But here's the thing about booming and zooming. It's very, very easy to avoid a boom and zoomer. And this G91 is going to demonstrate perfectly how you do it. Drop my air brakes for a moment there. Trying to get him in my gun sight, but I can't quite do it. I pull up. He's realised that I've reduced my speed. And he initially thinks about coming up after me, but he doesn't. So maybe that's a mistake on his part. And we swap back in on his tail. And we're going to repeat this sort of manoeuvre a few times. He keeps making that hard turn. He keeps trying to get me to overshoot, to waste my energy, and for me to waste my shells. This guy's clever. I know he's damaged, and I don't know to what extent he's damaged. It's safe to say his engine is probably on its last legs, but it doesn't matter to me because I have such little fuel. So this battle will really be decided by whichever one of us has the endurance to stay in the air for the longest. I run to the airfield just to give myself a little bit of separation. I was kind of hoping that the airfield AA would be able to take him down for me, but they can't quite do it. The G91 again is sensible enough to pull away. This guy wants to RTB. He wants to return to base, and I don't want to let that happen, because if I allow that to happen, then I'm going to have to fight a full health, full fueled G91 in an Etendard, and I'm just not confident about that engagement, especially when this guy has shown that he knows exactly how to defeat me. With the shot again, I'm running low on ammo. I've still got about 30 odd shells at this point, which is enough for me to get a few bursts off. I'm used to having to tap the trigger and be very conscious of ammo from playing the F2 Sabre. The G91 tries to follow me into the vertical here, and he very nearly gets me, but, you know, it's 50 cals. I'm not too concerned about that. What I'm much more concerned about is the fact that my fuel is extremely low. I only have about 30 seconds left. I asked the MiG-17, who's been sitting on that runway for a while, if he can repair, and no, he can't. Meaning, this battle is over. I'm out of fuel. The G91, although admittedly his engine is damaged, he's still coming up after me. My one advantage over him is my speed, which I'm about to lose. I call this will be GG. At this point, I am completely out of fuel, and I try to wing over to get to him. Maybe I can just get one last Hail Mary shot. I have to have a go, because I really want to win this round. It's been such a hard-fought battle. The G91 decides to go for the MiG-17. Not a terrible decision. He may be assuming the MiG-17 can repair, but he doesn't pull out of the dive and compresses into the ground. I drop it in the chat that I was out of fuel, G91. He should have won that battle. But he made one critical mistake at the end of the match. One flaw in his maneuvers. To be fair to him, he didn't know that I had min fuel. And he realistically couldn't have known. But I'm not sure that was really the right decision to make. But either way, it cost him the battle. And gave me my first ace in the Etendard. And potentially, well, not guaranteed, but definitely from memory, my first ace in a completely stock aircraft. Wow. Speechless. This game happened simply moments ago, as you know, you can clearly see. This battle happened at 14:20, or finished at 14:29. It is currently 14:45 as I'm finishing recording. So yeah, this game just ended. 3 games I have played in the Etendard. 1, 2, 3. This was one as well. No, 4 games. My bad. 5 games? Did I really play 5 battles in this thing? Oh, it's researching. Fuck, I can't read. Ignore me. So, what can I say about the Etendard? Like, I will definitely be doing a review of this aircraft when I have it fully spaded, but I've already, you know, gotten the ace with the aircraft, even though it's completely stock. Maybe this plane is a little bit too good for 9.0. Maybe this plane needs to go to 9.3, but of course it can't really go to 9.3 because this plane doesn't even have an afterburner. There's no way the Etendard is going to be able to stand up against, you know, the 10.3 aircraft that it would be matched up against. I don't know. Maybe it's just another ticket to put in the, you know, reasons to decompress War Thunder so we can, you know, have this aircraft at BR where it's not just going to stomp some of the aircraft that it fights. But while it is sitting here, you can be damn well sure I'm going to make the most of it. Because I've got to get this Myster research, because in probably just a couple of weeks, there's going to be a Mirage 3 sitting down here. And you damn well know I'm going to want to get my hands on that little beauty.